Today I'm going to show you the recipe that I use to make Texas caviar. It's a dip, but it can also be used as a salad. There are several variations. Some people add corn to it, or olives, or white corn, or green onions. I don't like those kinds of things, so I don't add them. My husband hates vegetables, and he will eat a whole recipe of this in one sitting. We like to use Tostitos scoops with it. It is also really good with the Frito-Lay scoops. You could use just regular Tostitos or any other brand that you like. So what you're going to need is, and I'm making a half batch, so I am looking for my peas. These are black-eyed peas. Contrary to what you would think, they're not black. They just have this little spot in them. So this is a 1 can, and it is a 14-ounce can, rinsed and drained in the sink. I'm just going to put that into this big bowl. You can do it in a serving bowl or in a mixing bowl. I'm actually just making this up and putting it right in the refrigerator because it's late tonight. It's a little after 9, and the recipe also calls for, I'm making a half batch, remember, 5 ounces of petite diced tomatoes. So I'm using a half a can. I'm just using the Walmart brand petite tomatoes. And a half a tablespoon of lime juice. You should make sure that's shaken up to have it mixed well beforehand. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. For a full recipe, you just want to double everything in it. I am also using Walmart brand Zesty Italian dressing. I like the Zesty Italian the best. You can use regular Italian. The full recipe is 3/4 cup, so you just want to break that in half. Pour that right over everything else. And then the next step in the recipe is green chili peppers. They are like a green chili, not quite a jalapeno, and these are chopped and peeled. You can use whichever kind you prefer. And the recipe calls for, let's double check it, 1 5-ounce can of chopped green chilies. And the lady who I got the recipe from says that she uses 1/4 to a half a can. So I have also made it without the peppers at all. You don't want to upset somebody's stomach who's not used to anything like this. It doesn't make a terribly huge difference because they're not jalapeno peppers. So do take that into consideration. You can leave them out. I have left out the green peppers and the onions in the past and just had the other items in it. Just play with it and see what you like best. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need also is a green pepper. And if you liked other peppers, yellow peppers or red peppers, you could do that also. The recipe calls for 1 small green pepper diced. So I'm going to use about half. I don't have the best knife for that, so let me change. I'm not fancy. I love my steak knives. I use them for my vegetables all the time. Now I'm just going to cut this up a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot of cutting. I like to use, I have a Black & Decker Handy Chopper Plus. So I like to use that for a lot of my vegetable chopping, especially for this recipe. So we're just going to chop this for just a minute. Obviously less than a minute. And that's just going to go right in the bowl also. You can make up this recipe and eat it right away. I like it best having it sit together in the refrigerator for a little while because all of those flavors kind of marry together. And we are also going to use a half a purple onion because it's cutting it in half. We're actually going to use about a quarter of it. I think I got the hardest one there to cut. And you just want to make sure with your onion you don't get any of the hard peel skin in with it. So see, it's nice and purple. And I'm just going to put this through that food chopper also. Watch your eyes. It's pretty strong. I'm just going to mix that right in also. Like I was saying about the vegetables, my husband will not touch green peppers, and I can squeeze some onions in here and there if I make up some potatoes, anything like that. For him, this is a good way to add in a few extra vegetables. Now we have an avocado. The whole recipe calls for 2, and we're just going to use 1. And to cut an avocado, you just slice it in half, lengthwise, and then it should come right apart or twist it apart. A neat trick that I saw on a TV show a long time ago was to just hit it with a knife, the pit in the middle, and then turn, and it should come right out. I'm always afraid I'm going to cut myself, so I like to use a spoon. So you just carve around the edge of the pit, and then to get the avocado out of the skin, you just run along the edge with the spoon, and it's going to separate real nicely. I don't like avocado in anything except for guacamole and this. So, just to show you about, flavors and preferences, you can put some things in here that maybe you don't like in other things, but give it a try. Surprise yourself. I actually came across this recipe at a potluck brunch at my church, and I had to find the person who made it because I liked it so much that I wanted to have more of it, and of course we were last in line, so it was getting eaten right up. So I wanted to go right home, and every time I make it, I can eat it as a meal or as a snack. Now I'm just chopping this into big chunks. And with any recipe or with any of the ingredients, you can adjust them to your taste. You can do more or less. So we just have this all chopped up into some big chunks. An optional ingredient also is some jalapeno peppers or pepper rings. Depending on your preference, you can add that. And we're just going to stir the whole bowl together. It's smelling just beautiful. Okay, it's smelling great. It's looking beautiful. And this will last in the refrigerator for quite a few days, so you can make it ahead of time. It's a nice snack for a camping trip so that you've got something that's high in protein for a meal. This is it all mixed up and it's ready to go. So wasn't that easy? You know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. So we're all set. If you have any questions, email me, comment, do any video responses. I always like to hear your feedback. Bye.